This is Turkey. The Turkish military was ranked the 11th most powerful in the world and the strongest in the Middle East on the 2023 Global Firepower list. In recent times, there has been growing speculation about a potential and highly concerning shift in NATO's dynamics, the prospect of Turkey forming a closer partnership with Iran. Although this outcome remains uncertain, it poses fundamental questions about NATO's future, Middle Eastern stability, and the broader global power balance. In the event of a deeper alliance between Turkey and Iran, NATO faces a challenging scenario that could strain its unity, alter its strategic position, and introduce unprecedented complexities to Western security interests in the Middle East and beyond. In today's video, we will examine the motivations behind this potential alliance, its potential impact on NATO's cohesion, and the broader geopolitical implications that may reshape the balance of power in the region. Welcome to Profit Protection, where we talk about all the topics important for investing, like technology and geopolitics. If you like what you're seeing so far, hit the subscribe button for more videos like this in the future. One of Turkey's most critical contributions to NATO is its geographic location. Situated at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, Turkey's position makes it a natural bridge between the alliance's eastern and western members. This geographical advantage has allowed NATO to project power and maintain a presence in a region of global significance. Turkey controls the Bosphorus Strait, a vital passage for the transit of goods and energy resources between the Black Sea and the Mediterranean. This control has been pivotal in regulating maritime traffic and ensuring the security of NATO members in the Black Sea region. Turkey has provided essential military bases and infrastructure to support NATO's operations and exercises. Incirlik Air Base, for example, has been a critical hub for NATO's air operations and logistics in the Middle East. But rewind to the Cold War era from 1952 to 1991. Turkey joined NATO to help contain the Soviet Union. NATO even parked missile systems and troops on Turkish soil during that time. Then fast forward to the post-Cold War era from 1991 to 2001, and Turkey started focusing on different things. They got busy with NATO-led peacekeeping missions and humanitarian efforts like the ones in the Balkans. Plus, they were cozying up to former Soviet republics and Middle Eastern countries. Now, the post-2010 period is where things started getting interesting. Changes in the Middle East, like the Arab Spring and the Syrian Civil War, made Turkey and some NATO members see eye to eye less often. Turkey started steering its own foreign policy ship, sometimes in directions that didn't quite match NATO's compass, especially when it came to Syria. And in recent years, there have been some major bumps in the Turkey-NATO road. One big one was Turkey buying Russia's S-400 air defense missile system. That didn't sit well with the US and other NATO buddies. Then Turkey's military moves in Syria, particularly against Kurdish forces, raised some eyebrows too. Then there was the whole saga with American pastor Andrew Brunson, who was detained in Turkey in 2016. That strained relations between Turkey and the US big time. Oh, and we can't forget the Cyprus dispute. Turkey's been having a bit of a tiff with Cyprus, an EU member and NATO partner, over territorial claims and gas exploration rights in the eastern Mediterranean. That stirred the pot within NATO, with members like Greece and France taking sides. All these clashes and disputes have put a real strain on Turkey's relations with some NATO buddies, shaking up the unity and teamwork within the alliance. So it's safe to say Turkey's been in a bit of a tight spot within NATO lately. Now, you might be wondering, why in the world would Turkey want to buddy up with Iran? Well, it's not just a random move. There are some juicy motivations behind this potential alliance. First off, economically speaking, it's a match made in heaven. Turkey's booming economy needs a stable energy supply, and guess who's got plenty of oil and natural gas? Yeah, Iran. So imagine the possibilities of energy trade and cooperation that could benefit both nations. Turkey's energy game isn't all sunshines and rainbows. They rely heavily on imports for natural gas and oil, and that's a bit of a vulnerability. Iran can step in as an alternative source, reducing Turkey's dependence on other suppliers. Both countries also have a vested interest in regional stability, especially in hotspots like Syria and Iraq. By joining forces, they could tackle regional challenges together, bringing more stability to the neighborhood. Plus, they share some common concerns about those pesky Kurdish separatist movements like the Kurdish Workers' Party. Turkey's also been doing some flexing in the Middle East, and it's caught the eye of Saudi Arabia, which always kinda has something to say about Turkey. They're not their biggest fan. An alliance with Iran, though, could balance out Saudi Arabia's influence in the region. Both Turkey and Iran might see this alliance as a ticket to becoming diplomatic power players in regional conflicts, boosting their influence and prestige. And of course, let's not forget their shared Islamic identities. Coming together could be seen as a way to unite Muslim nations and have a bigger say in regional and global matters. So what happens if Turkey decides to wave goodbye to NATO? Well, it's no walk in the park, that's for sure. It could lead to some serious isolation. First off, if Turkey gets all chummy with Iran, it might throw a wrench in NATO's plans. That means the US and some European members might not be thrilled. And why? Well, Turkey and Iran have some pretty different opinions on stuff like Syria and Yemen, and that could mess up NATO's strategies in the region. But here's the real kicker. Turkey and Iran teaming up to deal with Kurdish separatists. Some NATO members have backed those Kurdish groups in the past, especially in the fight against ISIS. So imagine the tension in the NATO clubhouse if Turkey and Iran decide to join forces against the Kurds. And if Turkey decides Iran is its new BFF and starts backing away from its NATO pals, well, that's a blow to NATO's unity and strength. And if Turkey and Iran start playing peacemaker in the Middle East, that could make NATO's job even harder. It's like trying to referee a game where the players keep changing the rules. Furthermore, if this were to happen, Saudi Arabia would not be thrilled. They've got a long-standing rivalry with Iran, and Turkey cozying up to them is like adding fuel to the fire. Saudi Arabia might start looking for new friends in the Sunni majority club and crank up the proxy conflicts in the region. Now, Israel's also got some skin in the game too. They've had a complicated relationship with Turkey, and they see Iran as a big threat. So if Iran and Turkey became besties, Israel might start reaching out to other countries like Greece and Cyprus, trying to change the game in the region. And don't forget about Russia. They're known for playing both sides. They could use this Turkey-Iran combo to their advantage in the Middle East's messy conflicts. Russia might step in as a mediator and boost its position in the region. Even Europe is keeping an eye on this. Turkey leaving its Western buddies could mess with EU-Turkey relations, especially when it comes to stuff like migration and security. So if Turkey and Iran join forces, they'll be like a dynamic duo in the Middle East, flexing their economic, military, and diplomatic muscles. And that could ruffle the feathers of big global players, like the United States and its pals. It's a total geopolitical shakeup in the making. So what are the consequences should Turkey choose to depart from NATO? Well, as you can imagine, it's not an easy question to wrap up into a neat box, as it comes with a lot of repercussions ranging from political, economic, and their overall security. However, what we can say with some certainty is that they might be left isolated. Turkey's been this sort of bridge between Europe and the Middle East for a while now, but if they ditch NATO, that bridge could get shaky. It might mean fewer nations wanting to hang out with them on the diplomatic and security playground, which is a big deal. Now let's talk about security. Leaving NATO means saying goodbye to Article 5, the part that guarantees collective defense. Without it, Turkey might find itself in a tight spot if there are security threats. They'll be missing out on the military and strategic backup the alliance provides. Diplomatically, it's gonna be an uphill battle. Turkey might lose some of its mojo when it comes to international forums and negotiations. That can make it tougher to push their agenda and resolve regional conflicts. Economically, things could get bumpy. Turkey's trade buddies might start looking elsewhere if they're no longer part of the Western Club. That could spell trouble for their economy, potentially leading to instability. And in the rough neighborhood that is the Middle East and Eastern Mediterranean, Turkey might feel a bit exposed. Building new alliances in that area won't be a walk in the park, and they could face more risks. And lastly, Turkey hosts some pretty important NATO assets, like the previously mentioned Incirlik Air Base. If they say goodbye to the alliance, that could mess with NATO's ability to do its thing in the region. So there's a lot at stake if Turkey decides to go solo. It's a complex decision with far-reaching consequences. As with most things, they're almost never without their cons, and if they aren't, then that may be even more concerning. In terms of Turkey and Iran's alliance, it's something that Turkey has to be very careful with. as they'd be set up to lose a lot of their leveraging power in places all over the world. Granted, the US certainly needs Turkey to keep some level of control over the Middle East and ensure threats from the East stay under control. However, Turkey has been walking a tightrope between East and West for quite some time now, and neither the US or Russia want to push them off that balance. Thank you so much for watching this video, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you found this informative and you learned something new about this budding alliance in the Middle East. We're yet to see how it unfolds, but if you want to keep up to date, then be sure to like the video to show your support and subscribe to never miss another upload. In the meantime, you might want to check out our other video about another geopolitical drama in which George Friedman makes a shocking prediction about what would happen if India went to war with China. As for now though, that's all we have in store for you today. Until next time, take care and we'll see you then.